So Bandai have announced they're reprinting some of the One Piece TCG. Now, we literally know nothing other than that information. They haven't said what sets they're going to reprint, what products they're reprinting, if it's going to be a worldwide reprint or if it's just US only. We have no idea, but obviously when there are people who are invested financially in this card game in a sense of buying sealed product, flipping stuff, and with the way prices have been going, there's going to be a lot of people that have come in it just for money. And upon hearing that news, they're just losing their minds. They think it's going to blow up and it's going to reprint and no one's going to want it anymore. It's, it's going to push away all these collectors. Investors are just going to drop out. And people are literally losing their minds. I've seen comments online. I've seen chats in Discords. I've seen comments on the Facebook groups, right? You can see it if you literally go on eBay, right? So in the UK, you go on eBay, you can see new listings. It will literally have a little icon on the listing, say that it's been newly listed. And you can go on there now and you can see OPO1 white bottom boxes listed at 10% cheaper than perhaps the last cheapest on there. So people are kind of panic selling those products, trying to get rid of it in a way that's just morally wrong, right? Because they're trying to offload their products, that their booster boxes that they have, onto people who haven't heard the news yet. They've heard the news and they're trying to get one step ahead, right? Trying to get one step ahead of everyone else, quickly sell it while it's still quite high before a reprint comes out and might come crashing down for the whole TCG. Bear in mind, when OPO1 was reprinted and we had some restocks here in the UK about 3 months ago, I want to say, when that happened, that actually kind of was the catalyst for the white bottom OPO1 boxes going up in price. Because after a week of that restock, they just sold out. They were just sold out and then prices started going up. So although people are panicking about this news of reprints, and I'll say it again, we don't even know what sets are being reprinted, let alone how much, how big of a reprint this might be. I mean, the last one was tiny. It just, within a week, those OPO1 white bottom boxes were cleared in the UK. People had bought them. They were still retail about £100, and people bought them, and most of them were gone on online stores. And I think the Camden Bandai store still had a few boxes for a little while. They normally allocate stock as it starts to go down. They limit like 1 box per person, so they normally hold on to stock longer, and obviously direct access to stock, so they normally have the stock the longest in terms of online sort of retail prices anyway. But I'm seeing it already. People are just trying to offload their product onto people that might not know the news because they think it's going to come crashing down. They just want to cash out while they can sell a white bottom booster box for £350, £375. And I mean, that's just one side of it. That's the investor side, right? The player side of things, like, we need a reprint. Like, sets are sold out. I think at the Camden store there's OPO4. OPO5 is just, they restricted it to booster packs and now OPO5 is gone. But yeah, I mean, for players who are trying to play the game, need the cards. And let's be honest, there's been huge growth, not only in collectors, but in players as well within the last 3 months. And that is why there's just no stock, because collectors, investors, and players have all jumped onto this TCG. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say, like, that we do need reprints. Like, the reprints need to happen because people are struggling to get the cards they need to play this game. They can't even get booster boxes to open. OPO6 is pretty much sold out on pre-orders, let alone the fact that allocations haven't even been given out. So who knows what's going to happen when that comes out. But for this game to grow in player base as well, it needs more product out there. And obviously that scares a lot of investors because they think, reprints, the products that they own, the thousands of pounds, dollars they've put into this is all going to come crashing down. But realistically, for the card game to work out, collector, player, and investors, like, as of right now, there does need to be a reprint. But how big that is, we've got no idea. It could be a huge reprint, but is it likely? I'm not too sure. I mean, they're the pre-orders are in advance so far ahead. They've got other TCGs, they've got multiple other TCGs that they are releasing. I don't know if realistically they're going to be able to just flood a huge reprint out there, and I don't know if they would want to do that, if they would be smart enough to know that although that's going to be fantastic for the players, you'll lose some collectors potentially in doing things like that. But realistically, it could just be a reprint like when the white bottom OP01 reprints came out, and it was just very small, and it came out at the perfect time to get new people into the, like, basically that's what I did. I think my first booster box was a OP01 white bottom reprint. So it was literally the perfect time for them to reprint it and kind of allow more people to get into the TCG that may have missed it. And I think that was a lot to do with the live action, because the live action came out, we had a restock. I mean, they probably couldn't have planned for that. It just happened at a perfect time that the live action came out. Some more people wanted to get involved in the TCG, and they did go back and have a little restock of the first set that came out. So that was perfect timing, and I don't think that was necessarily planned, but it did work out really well. And now we've had a flood of so many more people coming in for playing, collecting and investing, and there just needs to be more product to fill that, because at the moment there's literally hardly any sets available at retail price. You might get a OPO4, I think, box, but even so, like, that's 05's gone, like 01's gone, like it's all just, there needs to be a reprint. It does need to happen. The size of it is going to be what matters, and again, we don't even know. They could just be reprinting OPO5. Like, they might not even reprint OPO1. We've got absolutely no idea until more information is out there. And I think a lot of people just see the news and the information, they panic, they try and get ahead of other people, so they just flood the market and sell all their product because they're worried about these reprints. I don't think personally the reprints are going to be as big as people are expecting them to be. I think a lot of people heard the news and immediately they just think it's all going to go terribly. But realistically, are they going to reprint all 5 sets, and not only all 5 sets, but flood the market with all 5 sets at retail again? No, like, there'd be a reprint. Even if they did all 5 sets, right, it'd be a small reprint because there's only so much they can reprint. You're splitting that between 5 sets. Like, it's going to be impossible to, like, do a big reprint of every set of all of those sets so far. Like, it just won't happen. I can't see that happening, but it does need a reprint. So I'm actually glad to see that news. I'm glad to see that information. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a good or a bad thing? I mean, it generally depends on what your involvement in the TCG is. But yeah, are you expecting a big reprint? Are you expecting all the sets to be reprinted? Let me know down below. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Please hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.